Now, how can you say the gospel? The word gospel means good news. That's one of the gospels in Luke that does not come across as good news. And I can imagine through the years people listening to that, maybe a father's not talking to a son, a daughter, her mother, the mother-in-laws, of course, the mother-in-laws are always on the outs. And somebody saying, see, God predicted that I wouldn't be talking to my mother-in-law or my daughter-in-law. No, that's not what this is all about. You've heard the phrase, if you wanted someone to move, you light a fire under them, or on the one particular part of them to really get them to move, light a fire under them. And that's what Jesus is doing. He's lighting a fire among his apostles today. And he's telling them it's not going to be easy to love him. It's not going to be easy to carry out his will. It's not going to be easy to get into heaven through his teaching because his teachings are tough. I mean, love, how easy is that? Well, you know how easy it is. These people that he's using as examples, parables, um, they were related to mothers and fathers. They're related to each other. Children and parents, they're related to each other. And usually that relationship is one of love. But yet we know in the world that doesn't exist here in town. Just the other day, two parents, they're biological parents of a child who was emaciated and eventually passed away of starvation. And that's here in our own town, in our own country, in our own cycle of time. So the goal is that we should love one another. And Jesus is saying, at times, I'm asking you to challenge that bond of love between mother and father, sister and brother and relatives. Challenge that bond of love, because your bond of love to me has to be stronger than that. Because there are times in which these people, relatives, families, and friends, hurt you, gossip about you, put you down. And Jesus' solution to that, pray for them, forgive them, and no revenge. And that that bothers every one of us. I mean, please, when someone does something, you want to get even like that very quickly. But no, Jesus is saying no. That it's love. I'm asking you to hold together. So he says, I've come to set this earth on fire. He doesn't say it here, with love. He says he's coming not to put peace, but to build activity, to get us busy in loving each other. Now, the home is the first place to start with that example. But in our worlds, we know love is difficult. So many places are at war. Injustice reigns supreme. Political leaders are a little nutsy sometimes. And yet, Jesus is asking us to bring his love for us and our love for him into the world, to set it on fire, to change it, to make it cleaned up in a sense. It hasn't happened in 2,000 years, but it's our job now to continue it. And there's one phrase in Paul, the letter he read today from Ephesians. He prays that God, Christ, will dwell in your hearts through faith, and that you, rooted and grounded in love, may have the strength to comprehend all. Jesus is in us. As long as we're grounded in Jesus, we're grounded in love.